bozo comes up to you and you look him straight in the eye and you say, "I loved her before you ever married her." Then he walks the girl and she cries, "Larry, I heard everything you said." And you just look at her. And there's a long pause. A long pause. And finally you say, "Did you?" That's all. Just a plain, quiet, simple "did you?" Boy, what a moment.
But what's the story about?
Love. Love is the sweetest thing.
Oh, come on, boys. This ain't fair. I got a lot at stake in this picture. It's the last one in my contract. If I get a poor story, I'm out in the cold.
Shivering with $1 million annuity.
Now, gentlemen, don't let's get personal.
When they told me I was getting the star team of writers on the lot, I was all for it. But you two have done nothing but clown around. And the shooting date's only 2 weeks off. I've got to play this picture.
Why?
Tell me the story in a few simple words.
Mr. Benson, what's our story?
How on earth do I know?
Did you listen?
No. We have to have a stenographer.
But they won't wear tights. And I can't dictate to a stenographer who won't wear tights.
Now listen, boys!
Don't speak to me. You don't like our story.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I couldn't follow it.
You couldn't follow it? Listen, I've been writing stories for 11 years.
Boy meets girl.
Boy loses girl.
Boy gets girl.
Or girl meets boy, girl loses boy, girl gets boy. Love will find a way.
Love never loses. Put your money on love.
You can't lose.
It's a sorry state of affairs when an actor insists on following a story. Do you think this is a golf tournament?
If I may make a point, I don't think you're showing the proper respect to one of the biggest stars in this studio. A man who's not only captivated millions of people, but who's going to captivate millions more.
With his little lasso.
Just because I don't get Gable's fan mail don't mean I ain't got his following. A lot of those that want to write me, well, I never learned how.
Benson, injustice has been done. We've been lacking in respect for the idol of illiteracy.
Do we apologize?
No, I'm getting fed up with this. I've got writers who are just plain crazy, a producer who can't concentrate and ain't even here, and
Now, Larry, don't lose your temper.
the idea of writers getting $1,500 a week for acting like hoodlums.
I agree with you. Huh? We're not writers. We're hacks. If we weren't, would I be standing here listening to your inarticulate grunts?
Huh?
That's exactly what I mean. For 2 cents, Benson, I take the next train back to Vermont.
Well, that's all right with me.
Will you forget
At
Vermont?
least I wouldn't have to stand around with that in Vermont. I'd write. Really write. My God, I wrote once. I wrote a book. A darn good book. But now I'm writing dialogue for a horse.
Now listen!
Larry, take a deep breath. Boys mean no harm. Exhale.
I smell carbon monoxide.
One more crack. That's all. Just
Good
one
morning.
more crack.
Boys, no antics, please. We've got a heavy day ahead of us. I don't want to be disturbed by anybody, understand? And order some lunch. Boys, we're facing a crisis.
Well, I'm going up to see BK. Hope you boys get a good story for Larry.
As a matter of fact, you may as well know it. There may be a reorganization.
Again?
And you know my position. I'm the only college-bred man in the studio. They resent me.
Oh, the big snobs.
Listen here, CF. What about my picture?
Excuse me, Mr. Friday, but casting wants to know how many midgets you'll need.
Midgets? I don't need any midgets.
Casting says you've ordered midgets, and I've got them.
They're crazy. Listen, Miss Cruz, we're in conference. Please don't disturb us again.
Yes, Mr. Friday.
Where were we? What was I saying?
You are saying that this is one of the greatest picture strips ever written.
Now, just a minute.
Boy meets girl, boy loses girl, boy gets girl.
The great American fairy tale sends the audience back to the relief rules in a happy frame of mind.
And why not?
It's the greatest escape formula I've worked out in the history of civilization.
Hey, guys, let's ask Peggy. If she wants to see Larry Thompson in a different story, she's your audience.
Don't ask me anything. I've got the words too thick.
But Peggy, you go to pictures, don't you?
No.
But you've seen Larry Tom's pictures and enjoyed them,
No.
as millions of others have.
Why, one man sent him a rope all the way from Manila with instructions.
Boys, this isn't getting us anywhere.
Peggy, do you mean to sit there and tell me you haven't seen one Larry Tom's picture?
I saw one.
Aha!
Night in Death Valley.
This isn't getting us anywhere, eh?
How would you like to see Night in Death Valley again? With a new title.
I wouldn't.
That's all. Step down. May I point out to the court that the body was found only 2 feet away in an open field with every door and window shut. Your witness!
I've got to see a man of
Come back here!
That's what I mean!
Miss Cruz.
Loaded
leave word at the gate, Benson and Law are not to be allowed off the lot. That I come right back to my office.
Well, why do you stand for it?
Larry, those boys are crazy, but they've got something.
They've been fired off every other lot.
I'll fire them off this one. After they've produced a story, I've made up my mind to that. Meanwhile, patience.
Well, that's easy to say.
You can't quibble with artistic temperament when it produces.
They've been producing nothing but trouble around here.
Reagan here.
How do you do?
What do you want?
Why, Wardrobe sent me. Do you approve the uniform?
Uniform for what?
Young England.
Stand over there. I can't say I like the hat.
The hat is authentic, sir.
I still don't like it. You can't photograph it. Yes? What midgets? I didn't send out any call for midgets. Get rid of them. Get me Wardrobe. Who's making all that noise? This is CF. I don't like the hat. I don't care if it's authentic or not. Who's making all that noise?
Midgets!
Change the hat. You can't photograph it. We want to see faces, not hats. Good gosh. Somebody's gonna rock through my window. Here, you pull down those blinds.
Yes, sir.
Get me casting. This is CF. Somebody's gonna rock through my window. One of the midgets. Of course they're indignant. Sour grapes. I'm telling you to get rid of them.
Much like a wardrobe, sir.
Tell them I don't like the hat.
Well, it's very peculiar that you should take umbrage at the hat, as it happens to be the only correct item in the entire outfit.
What's that?
This coat doesn't hang properly. These buttons are far too large. These shoulder straps are absurd, of course, and the boots, if I may say so, are too utterly fantastic. Any guardsman would swoon away at the sight of them.
So?
The hat, however, is authentic.
Get me casting. This is CF. Extra here by the name of...
Rodney Bevan.
Rodney Bevan doesn't like his uniform. Fire him!
Fire? Have you given me the sack?
I've enough trouble without extras telling me how to make pictures. That's the trouble with this business. A man spends his life at it and anybody can walk in and tell him how to run it.
What I merely suggested.
Now boys, what about our story?
Right here. Mr. Benson, for the most brilliant script of the year, the Academy takes great pleasure in presenting to you the Silk Guard
Wrap it
Royal.
up, please.
Now listen!
What do you say to this auto for the second chorus?
Yes, Abacus, got the gallop twist. I'm still crying for more.
How do you like the song?
Darn good. Can you play over the waves?
Boys, can you be serious for a moment? You're trying my patience. What about our story?
What about it? It's a rich protein plot for Larry.
It just don't make sense.
I resent that as a gentleman and a grammarian.
Now really, boys, I'm tolerant, but I've got to see results.
What do you say? What do you like about the song, Sia?
Lacks body.
No breasts.
That's exactly it, pallid.
Come on, Otto.
This isn't my idea of a fair audition.
Wait till they hear it at the Coconut Grove. They'll be sorry.
Listen, boys, we've had enough of this.
Lunch.
Grub, Susie, I love you.
Good Lord!
Susie! Susie!
Get the doctor over here right away.
This is a nice thing to happen in my office. Who is this girl anyway?
Come on, Susie.
That commissary shouldn't employ people with epilepsy.
I had an actor who did that to me once. Held up my shooting schedule 14 days.
She's all right.
Did you all get napkins?
Now, Susie, get into this chair.
Oh, thanks.
What's wrong with you, young woman?
Oh, nothing's wrong. It's only natural.
Only natural for you to come into my office and collapse on the floor?
Oh, no, sir. It's only natural. If you don't feel sick when you're going to have a baby.
A baby. Susie, you're not going to have a baby.
Well, that's what they told me.
Susie's going to have a baby. Can we be godfathers?
Do you mean it?
Do we mean it? We haven't got a baby and we've been collaborating for years.
Oh, I think that would be wonderful. We're happy to have writers for a godfather.
Happy?
Well, I'm going to call him Happy, even if he's a girl, because I want him to be happy, even if he's a girl.
Beautiful. A beautiful thought.
Now, boys, let's get together on this. And you, what are you sitting here for? Get up!
Sit right where you are. Don't you bark at our inspiration. We've got it.
What?
A baby.
Boys, I'm a patient man, but you're trying.
Larry, Tom's, and a baby.
Do you see it?
Wait a minute! Wait! Oh, minute!
Minnie finds a baby in the Rockies.
Girl, no good gambler at Las Vegas. Has a baby. Gambler is killed. Girl leaves baby on the ranger's doorstep. Larry is the ranger.
Boy meets girl.
Boys, I think you've got something. Let's go up and try it on DK while it's hot.
Let's go.
Wait a minute! You can't act for the baby! They steal every scene! Look what happened to Chevalier!
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't startle you.
Oh, no, they all stepped out.
You don't happen to know when Mr. Friday is coming back?
No, I don't.
I did want to see him. It's rather urgent. Do you mind if I wait here?
No, of course not. What are you supposed to be?
That's just it. I'm supposed to be a Buckingham Palace guard, Sergeant Major. You're not really a waitress. waitresses don't usually sit in producer's office.
They do when they don't feel well.
Oh, you don't feel well. I'm sorry. Is there anything I can do?
No. Thanks.
But what's wrong?
Oh, there's no use telling you. I told Mr. Friday and he made such a fuss about it. I guess I better keep it to myself.
I'm afraid I don't quite understand.
Nobody does.
As I was saying, what was I saying? Do you know I was close to wiring home for funds today?
You mean you need money and you can get it and you won't wire for it?
I can't, and keep my pride. I told them I was on my own. You see, my family didn't want me to act. Not that they've any prejudices against the stage or the film, but they don't think I can act. That's what hurts.
Can you act?
No.
Not at all.
Not at all. I'm awful. I played a Cambridge undergraduate, and mind you, I've been a Cambridge undergraduate, and do you know that I was utterly unconvincing?
Then why don't you give it up?
Pride.
I can understand that. Pride.
Can you really?
Oh, sure I can.
You see, all I want is to appear in one picture, and then I can tell the family I've done it. But it's not good enough. I'm chucking it. But I'll have my pride.
I see.
Oh, I say, I'm not boring you.
Oh, no.
I don't cotton to the whole idea. If BK's got any sense, he won't listen to those maniacs.
What's going on here?
How do you do?
What is this? A tete-a-tete in my office? I've a good mind to call the studio police.
Oh, please don't do that, Mr. Friday.
That's what you get for having foreign actors around
I'm
here.
terribly sorry.
Get out!
Oh, you shouldn't have done that. He's been having a terrible time.
Get these dishes out of here.
Yes, sir.
The idea of a baby. The more I think of it, the less I like it.
Larry, you're driving me into a nervous breakdown.
So, Lock, Stock, and Baby. BK says it's the best mother love story he's heard in years.
What? What's that?
Susie, put that tray down.
Please, Mr. Law, I've got to get back to the commissary.
You sold him that story, huh?
Lie down, actor.
I'll see about this.
Now listen, Susie, and listen carefully.
Let me tell you. Susie, nature meant you for a sucker. You were designed to get the short end of the stick.
But we're changing all that.
Susie, in real life, you'd have your baby in the county hospital. And when your grateful son grew up, he'd squirt tobacco juice in your eye and join the Navy.
There you go, your realism. Son, please.
Here? What is it?
Just a power of attorney authorizing us to deal with all matters of the studio.
What power of attorney? What are you boys up to?
We said to ourselves upstairs, why shouldn't Susie have the good things of life?
After all, we're godfathers.
Oh, I don't feel very good.
And get this, Susie, we've just sold a story about a baby.
Sweetest story ever told.
A newborn baby.
Brand new.
We're gonna watch that baby, the first hair, the first tooth, the first smile.
The same baby. No switching. First time in history of pictures. That baby's gonna grow before your eyes.
That baby's gonna gurgle and Google and drool his way to stardom.
But
And that baby, Susie, is happy. Upstairs in BK's office, we put your unborn child into pictures.
happy? In pictures? Oh, that's wonderful.
Happy's on his way.
If you like Happy and Wandering Hearts, you'll adore him with Golden Nuggets. Happy, happy, happy!
Crown Prince of Comedy.
King of Tragedy.
Emperor of Emotion.
The desert waif who made a softy of a bad man.
The big gold strike of Mother Love.
Thrill.
Chills.
Read those figures, Miss Cruz.
82,000 at the music hall, 48,538 in Des Moines.
Without a stage show.
I always went big in Des
28,000
Moines.
in Newark.
That's one of my big towns.
48,538 in San Francisco.
I'm big